welcome to another Blackjack Day video and moving forward your journey to being a better Blackjack player and AP player. I am Blackjack Dave. I love to play Blackjack, talking about Blackjack and sharing the correct way to play Blackjack with others. Through the 101 level of my videos, you have learned how to play Blackjack and how to play every hand perfectly, regardless of the number of decks of cards or the rule. I've also shared with you some tips on how to boost your return even more so that you could be playing virtually even with the casino. But playing virtually even won't get you the money at the end of the day. Only card counting will do that. Every time I mention the C word to players, their eyebrows raise and they have this bewildered look on their face that screams, "Me, card counting? What are you, crazy?" Why does the general public have a impossible like view of card counting? I believe it's because they have the wrong idea about what card counting is and how it works. There's a lot of misinformation about card counting abounds in books, magazines, on the internet, and even in TVs and movies. These myths have been passed along from one generation to the next. They hinder players from learning how to win blackjack. I'm not really kidding. Do you remember this famous blackjack scene from the popular movie Rain Man? You know, where Dustin Hoffman is card counting at the blackjack tables at the famous Caesar's Palace Casino and telling his selfish brother, Tom, how to play and how much to bet. Cruz is winning and winning big. The scene shifts to casino surveillance room, where two casino employees are trying to figure out how Cruz is winning all that money playing blackjack. Finally, one employee says, "He's not catching a whole card. He isn't past posting. I don't see him using a computer, but something is just not right. There's no one in the world that can count into a six-deck shoe. I hate it when movies get stuff so wrong." Do you really have to have photographic memory like Dustin Hoffman to be a card counter? Is it really true that no one can count into a six-deck shoe? The quick and dirty answers to both questions are no and no. There are other myths associated with card counting that I'll get to in this video, but for now I ask you to keep an open mind about card counting, re-listen to what I have to say about it, and then decide afterwards. If it's for you, please continue watching my videos. My goal in this level of my goal in this level of videos, the 201 series, is to, in this video especially, dispel the card counting myths, then explain what card counting really is and how it works and why it works, give you the details of a popular card counting system. We're going to use the high-low method in this series. Show you alternative, simpler card counting systems. Explain bankroll requirements and the all-important concept of risk and ruin. Very, very important concept here. Your bankroll and your risk or ruin. And then give you tips on how you can boost your edge with card counting. And at the end, how to disguise the fact that you are an advantage player or a card counter. Now on to the myths. The first myth is card counting is illegal. Using your brain when you play blackjack is not illegal. Neither is card counting. Myth 2. You must have photographic memory to be a card counter. The general public believes that a card counter memorizes every card in the deck, just like Rayman did in the movie. The fact is that card counters don't memorize every card. What they do is assign a tag to specific cards, like +1 or -1, then add and subtract the tags as the cards appear on the layout. Card counting, in fact, requires nothing more than simple addition and subtraction, and a little addition too. Myth 3. You've got to be a mathematical genius in order to be a good card counter. The movie 21 portrays card counting as an intellectually difficult task that can be learned only by top level MIT college students with high IQs. Crazy. If you have average intelligence, meaning you can read, write, and can mentally add and subtract, you can learn card counting. Myth number 4, card counters win all the time. To me, this is the most important myth to know because you will not win all the time. In fact, you will lose more than you win. Rain Man did. So did the MIT students. So did the MIT students. Don't believe everything you see and hear in the movies. The fact is that card counters have a small mathematical edge, roughly one half to 1% over the casino. And even though they will win more money than they lose over time, we're talking 50 to 100 hours, they certainly can't and won't win every time they play. Very important to remember this. Myth number 5. It is impossible to count. It is possible to count card count when the casinos use 6 or 8 decks of cards. Isn't that what the casino security person said in the Rain Man movie? Yes, he did, but it isn't true. Remember that card counting is nothing more than mentally adding plus values and minus values. You can do that with 6 and 8 decks as easily as you can with a single deck of cards. Myth number 6. You need a tremendous bankroll to be a card counter. Not so. If your bankroll is meager, you just need to play at a lower minimum bet size. What is important is that you have enough bankroll in relation to your bet size to withstand short term losing streaks. Let me say this again. What is important is that you have enough bankroll in relation to your bet size. Very important. And we will have at least 2 or 3 videos on determining your bet sizes and bet strategies. Remember, you can't win every time you play. So why bother with card counting? Because you want to win at blackjack. Card counting is a proven technique that works. Period. Now that I've debunked the myths, let's move on in our next videos and course level to learn exactly what card counting is and how it works. What you see on screen on the very first column on the left are different card counting systems. We are going to focus on the high-low system, which is the very first one. For now, forget this table. Well, don't forget it, but keep looking at it, but only concentrate on row 1, high-low, and the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 columns. So ace through 10. And notice in the first row, there's a value underneath the ace, -1, 2 plus 1, 3 plus 1, 4 plus 1, 5 plus 1, 6 plus 1, 7, 8, 9 are 0, and then 10 -1. What I want you to practice for the next video is take a deck of cards, and I'll demonstrate this in a second, but just take a deck of cards and flip the card over, and if it's a 2, say +1. Then let's say you get a 4, you get +2. And let's say you get an 8, and still your account is +2. Let's say then you get a 10, now your count is +1. Then let's say you draw a 5, your count is now +2. So that is the method of counting cards. There's a lot more to it than that. Well, not a lot more. There's a little more to it than that, but that is the basis. So before the next video, I want you to do this at least 3 times a day. Now I will demo what I was just talking about. Demo, just going to use a few. You'll get the idea. All right, so you got the deck. You can flip a card over. It's a 6, so that's a +1. King, that's a minus card, so now you're at 0. That's a 2. That's got a value of +1, so now you're at +1. +2. That's got a value of 0, so still at +2. +2, because the value of 0. +3, because that's a +1. +2, that's a -1. and plus 3 because that's a plus 1. When you go to the whole deck, you should arrive at 0 because it's the same number of minus cards and plus cards. But again, uh, 2 through 6 plus 1, 7, 8, 9 are neutral meaning a value of 0, and then 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace minus 1. Well, thanks for watching the video. And if you haven't subscribed, please become a subscriber. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to list them. And to the next video, may many blackjacks be in your future.